here Congresswoman Elise. She is a member of the House Intelligence Committee, the Armed Services and Education and Labor Committees. She's the House Republican Conference Chairwoman. Congressman, it is good to see you. Thanks very much for being here.
Good to be with you, Maria.
Well, we've talked about the FBI a lot, and we've seen plenty of instances where politics dictates what investigations they're going to do, from the Russia collusion story to the Hunter Biden laptop cover-up to the targeting of parents. What happened at the FBI, and can you give us more information about these whistleblowers that Jim Jordan is talking about?
Absolutely, Maria. So this is the same agency that you pointed out that had a politicized attack, whether it was the faulty FISA applications, whether it was perpetuating the Russia collusion hoax, or whether it was targeting parents as domestic terrorists. The FBI has been weaponized and politicized to go after Democrats' political opponents, and of course, most recently, the outrageous raid of Mar-a-Lago targeting President Biden's most likely 2024 opponent, and that, of course, is President Donald Trump. There have been over 14 whistleblowers that have reached out to House Republicans, specifically Ranking Member Jim Jordan, our leading Republican on the Judiciary Committee, saying that the FBI is targeting conservatives internally. They have been revoking security clearances, which is the first step, essentially, to firing these individuals because they're unable to do their job at the FBI without those security clearances. The whistleblowers also allege that the FBI has prioritized these domestic terrorists and allegedly trying to push in that direction rather than pursuing child pornography, child abuse cases. So again, this is the politicization. This is trying to continue the Democrats' narrative, and the FBI is not doing their job. I will tell you, in a House Republican majority, Maria, the subpoenas are coming. Jim Jordan has already requested Attorney General Merrick Garland preserve the documents, and they will be called to testify because we will ensure that the FBI is accountable to the American people.
Well, this is just extraordinary, and it really is very disturbing to see these stories of these two systems of justice. When are we going to see accountability? I mean, how are we going to believe that we can trust the leading agency when we see these stories? And do you expect that we're going to have more resignations at the top? I mean, Christopher Wray, what is he saying about this?
Well, there should be resignations at the top. I believe Christopher Wray should resign for a number of reasons, and it even goes to a local level. We've seen the FBI refuse to provide transparency for a deadly limousine crash in my district where the owner of the limousine company was a longtime FBI informant. So at the local level, there's a lot of accountability, but also at the top, obviously. It comes from the top, and they continue to stick their head in the sands, and they continue to politicize this. Again, this is the same agency that colluded with big tech to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story leading up to the 2020 elections. That is election interference, and the FBI has refused to answer questions from Congress. In a House Republican majority, we will not only subpoena those individuals, but we will hold them accountable. Maria, the American people are losing faith in these agencies because they're smart and because they see the politicization. We should never have a two-tier justice system in this country.
Yeah, when I speak with people about the raid on President Trump, I hear the same thing from everybody, and that is, if they can do that to a former president, what can they do to you? And there's a new report that says that the FBI is changing the total number of documents that it reportedly seized from Mar-a-Lago. An additional 63 documents or photographs without classification labels seized by the FBI per an updated inventory list. Why is the FBI changing the inventory list now? And then you've got the U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon siding with former President Trump in the fight over those seized materials. Cannon overruling the special master's order for Trump to give final objections on the FBI search inventory, meaning that he can dodge the special master's request to verify those documents. Congressman, explain all of this in terms of what is the latest on this raid on Trump.
Well, the story continues to change from the FBI. They continue to push out different facts, different narratives to the mainstream media. What I want to ensure is that all the information, all the lead up to this very egregious raid, which is a significant overstep, who made the decision to sign off on the raid, what was the justification for the raid, that all needs to be submitted to Congress. Congress needs to we have oversight over these agencies, and the FBI believes that they are accountable to no one when they're accountable to the American people. And it is our job as members of Congress, and we intend to do it in a House Republican majority. Chris Wray has avoided appearing except for one open hearing in front of the House Intelligence Committee. I can tell you that Chris Wray will be sitting in front of me as a member of the House Intelligence Committee in a House Republican majority. But again, the American people are smart. They see this for what it is. They see that the the leadership at the FBI continues to do everything they can to target President Trump, but also target the American people, target patriotic Americans who are conservatives. So we will hold them accountable.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about what you're going to do should you get the majority in the midterm. Congresswoman, you're predicting an historic number of GOP women winning their races. Tell me about the women that you're expecting to take the lead here in November.
This will be the year of the Republican women, specifically the Latina Republican. I think we're going to sweep South Texas in addition to Mayra Flores. I think we're going to elect Cassie Garcia as well as Monica de la Cruz. We have April Becker, who's an accomplished attorney, running in Nevada. We have Amanda Atkins running in the suburbs of Kansas. We will flip that seat. We have Laura Lee, who's the former Secretary of State of Florida, who will pick up a seat there, as well as we have Lori Chavez-DeRemer in Oregon, who will flip a seat. So I've been proud to lead the efforts when it comes to recruiting Republican women, and we are going on offense, and I believe that the mainstream media is trying to downplay what will be a very historic year for Republicans.
Well, that all is terrific. Congrats on that. We, of course, have been watching independents, women, and Hispanic moving further to the GOP in the face of all of this bad policy we talk about every day. Congresswoman, we'll be watching. Good to see you this morning. Elise Stefanik joining us this morning. Thank you so much. Tonight, I'll be talking